Okay, well, just approaching Hemel Hempstead in Hertfordshire here, and we're just going to look at some of the pagan witchcraft symbolism they've got here, like this roundabout here, which is made up of all sixes, as you can see. The whole place is full of satanic symbolism. I'm at a place called the Water Gardens in Hemel Hempstead in Hertfordshire. It doesn't look very satanic, does it? No, it looks quite nice actually, doesn't it? But let's take a close look here at what's actually in this garden, and also what is just the way over there, in the shopping centre over there, pertaining to 9/11, because 9/11 is not just a date. It's not just an event that happened in the USA. It is also a very important pagan witchcraft cryptography, which marks places where things have happened. That's, I'll have to say, is my opinion, but it's based upon my research. And Hemel Hempstead here is where the largest explosion in peacetime Europe happened, and that was at Buncefield oil depot. Huge explosion. Let's go and take a look at what's around here. This is what I've come to film today. This bandstand, besides the X's on the fences there, if we just take a look up here, you can see that it's actually got, if I tip it this way, you can see it, it's got the winged sun disk on it there. And the whole thing is designed a bit like a pyramid. Take a look at the top. But what's on here is absolutely fascinating. If we go to the top here, just zoom in, you can see it's set like a pyramid with a capstone. But look at that swirly thing at the top. It actually contains Roman numerals when it's viewed from any side. So it says X, I, X. Now an X is a number 10, an I is a number 1, and an X is a number 10. So if you place a lower number in front of a higher number in Roman numerals, you add it to it. But if you place it before it, you take it away. So the first one, XI, says 11. And the next one, which says IX, is 9. So if we read that backwards, it says 9/11. So this pyramid here, with the winged disc, and the X's, says 9/11. This bit here looks rather pagan and witchcrafty, doesn't it? But it gets a lot worse. It doesn't just look like it's something out of a fairy tale here. Let's just have another look at this from this angle. Look at these trees. Look at the way everything's been arranged. It's rather creepy, isn't it? Let's take a look down here. More of those trees further down the end here, but here that's not the most important thing we're going to look at. The most important thing we're going to look at here is this. This is the interesting part here in Hemel Hempstead. Well, one of them anyway. This is Apollyon the Destroyer, also known as Alexander the Great. He is the beast from the pit from the book of Revelation. He is the son of the devil. He is the pagans' sun god, the pagans' star god, the star man. Now, take a look behind the statue. There's two pillars, like the 9/11 pillars, for instance. And notice the wall behind is in a C shape. It's an arch, so it's a C shape. And on the floor, there's brickwork arranged in a circle. Now, where you have a C and an O together, a C is a Roman numeral for 100. Add another O to the end of that, that's 1,000. And 1,000 in Greek is Helios, and that's another name of Apollyon, Alexander the Great, Io, Io, Ao. Many, many, many names this guy has. And he's the one that's coming back to wreak destruction on this earth and blaspheme against God and claim himself as God and come here in his own name. Now, this statue here does have some funny bits about it, because people come along and they put cigarettes in his hand, for instance. Yeah, but that's just someone having some fun. But let's just have a look at the hand sign here, holding the discus. You can see there that he's making the sign of Mercury, his brother. Two fingers here together, those two splayed apart there. 1, 2, those together. So he's making this hand sign like this, okay, and that's the eagle claw sign of his brother Mercury, who is the false prophet. He's the eagle, the messenger of the gods, and this is the god himself of the pagans, Apollyon the Destroyer, here in Hemel Hempstead. What has Hemel Hempstead got to do with Apollyon the Destroyer? There again, what's the rest of the world got to do with Apollyon the Destroyer, that his statues are actually everywhere? Well, let's take a closer look around Hemel Hempstead, and you'll see what I mean. Now here's another interesting one here. This statue here is of a couple of dancers. That might not seem as if it's anything at all, but the thing is, you see, pagans, witches, call themselves dancers. You may have heard the Billy Idol song where he sings, "Last night a little dancer came dancing to my door." You may also have seen the actress Nicole Kidman advertising perfume and saying that "I'm a dancer," she said. Yeah, that basically would mean that they are not human, or that they are a pagan, that they practice witchcraft. And once again, we've got this strange statue here of a couple of dancers on the water, again symbolising who it is that's in control of this area, witches. Here in the water gardens, there's some little statues here in the water of duck-billed platypuses. But what some of you are not going to like hearing is that a duck-billed platypus is actually an abomination. It's an animal that should not exist, like a mule. A mule is a cross between a horse and a donkey, and that is an abomination. It's a mixture of animals. And the same thing applies here with the duck-billed platypus. Why would we have a duck-billed platypus here in Hemel Hempstead in Hertfordshire? It doesn't make any sense. They're from Australia. But the thing is, you have to remember that these animals have got poison spurs on them, they've got fur on them, they've got the beak of a duck on them, and they lay eggs. So this is an abomination. It's something that should not exist, and it fits in with all the other pagan, Masonic, witchcraft, trickery and witchery that's going on all over the world, even here in Hemel Hempstead. Here we've got the moon and stars there, 3 stars. Sun is a star, so a star is a sun, so that is in Greek, that's an Eo. So that says sun, 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 or Eo, 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 and it's got the moon there. The sun is Apollyon the Destroyer. His name is usually said 3 times cryptically, like it is here, and the moon is the moon goddess, his sister Selene. Yeah, we've got the good old pagan rainbow symbol there with a cross there. Just take a walk around it and take a look at the front. Okay, so this is supposed to be in memory of the dead from World War II, but I doubt it somehow, because that rainbow is a pagan symbol, and so is the poppy, and there's all those crosses down there. And a cross is what Jesus Christ was crucified on, and it's also a way of writing a number 10 in Roman, whether you have it that way up or tilted to the side. So again, this is just pagan worship of Apollyon. Well, I'm in Hemel Hempstead, Old Town, and there's an interesting sign just up there. I'll just zoom in for you. It just says the Old Town Hall, doesn't it? The trouble is, look at the initials. It says T-O-T-H, Toth. What, in the middle of Hemel Hempstead Old Town, Toff, and there's also a very nice sun clock up there. Look at that. It's a sun. It's a black sun. Of course, with Roman numerals. The witches have been busy. Look at that sign. That sign says XC. That's how you say 6 in Greek, XC. And it's also got a circle with an X in the middle, and that is one of the many older Roman numerals for 1000. 1000 in Greek is Helios, and that is a name of Apollyon, the destroyer. Here's another great one here. This optician's here has got the name Thei. Well, Thei is Greek. It's plural. It means gods, as in the pantheon, as in Apollyon, Zeus, Hermes, etc. It's funny you should call that gods. So that place there is called Gods, in Greek, of course. There's a lot more Masonic symbolism around this area, but I think that's enough to be getting on with, because it's all over the world. I could spend hours and hours here doing it, but just to show that it is actually everywhere. And of course, I don't find it strange that there's this 9/11 symbolism and all this other Masonic symbolism around here, and that Hemel Hempstead here, Buncefield, had that huge explosion, but it was fobbed off as an accident without any investigation, both by the police and by the council. But I would like to see an investigation of that, so I'm just doing my own, based upon paganism and symbolism. And of course, you know, we've got the good old 9/11 there, which is a very good marker. I'll have to say it's my own opinion, because that's the only way you can say these things in this world.